team is back on tonight. Ant-Man James Jones, I believe he has all the pressure. I think Ant-Man has to show why Shady gets so hyped when he talks about him. Ant-Man has to show why he's supposed to be the next face of the league. I think about Anthony Edwards tonight. He has to do three things to me. The first thing he has to do, prove that you're the best player on your team. Please. Because Julius Randle has looked like he's been the best player on the team for 6 of the last 7 games. The next thing, can you score 30 points? You think about Tyrese Halliburton, Jalen Brunson, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Anthony Edwards. Those are the 4 stars remaining. Shai, first game, 30-plus, best player on his team. Tyrese, first game, 30-plus, best player on his team. Jalen Brunson, first game, 30-plus, best player on his team. And then lastly, can you look like a star? Yeah. Because last night, Tyrese Halliburton, he looked like a star. Jalen Brunson, 40-plus points, he looked like a star. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, game 1, 30-plus points, he looked like a star. And Ant-Man, I couldn't even find you with the kaleidoscope or the microscope with none of them scopes. So Ant-Man, can you look like a star? Can you score 30-plus points? And can you please, please, please be the best player on your team tonight? That's what I need to see.
Yeah, a lot of pressure's on him because he is the best player on his team, and he has to show up and play. But the best player on a lot of the teams I played for, his name was Aaron Rodgers. And I remember before some games, he'd be like, I need your help. You know what I mean? Lock in, I need you. Dante, Naj Reed, help. Straight up. If they are going to win this game, let alone this series, it is not going to be all Anthony Edwards. Is he going to have to play like a superstar? Absolutely. But Naj Reed and Dante, y'all going to have to help. And if you guys do not help, this series is going to be over very, very, very soon, and they are going to have a lot of rest in OKC if you guys don't help. So a lot of pressure's on Anthony Edwards because he is the star on this basketball team, and y'all go as he goes. But if Naj Reed and Dante don't help him, this is going to be another big win for the OKC Thunder. So it's a lot of pressure, but them other dudes, they got to help too, and they got some pressure on them as well.
Can I do a little more house cleaning?
I don't know if we got no
For that last segment, I don't know if all of you were with us on that last segment. I'm going to take an L on that. I'm going to take an L on that. And where's that garbage can?
Ain't no L slick. Come on, dog.
Because these don't come along that often, but I got to give it to you.
Bucket.
No, not all the pressure is on Anthony Edwards, as James mentioned, because there was a lot of guys that didn't contribute in game 1. But most of it is, and I can't help but think about what we went through last year when we were ready to crown Anthony as taking that next step. You know, he sweeps Phoenix, right? Then he knocks out the Denver Nuggets, and we were ready to crown him. And then Kyrie Irving said, "Oh no, I got something for you," and he gets knocked out. And now we suddenly were like, "Oh no, Ant's not ready." Well, we were coming along with them knocking out the Lakers and knocking out the Warriors, and maybe this is the time for Ant to ascend. And then we get this game 1 where you're like, dude, you're the best player on your team. Yeah. You're the only one who can do what you can do. And where were you? Yeah. If a guy goes 3 for 30, you know what? Games like that happen.
Yep.
Right? But when you have Anthony Edwards' talent, and you have the meaning that you have for your team, you got to go down swinging.
Correct.
And he didn't. And I just would hope that whatever happens tonight, that he will do that, that we will see him trying to get it done. Because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander drove 28 times in that game. Now he was 2 for 13 in the first half. Wasn't getting it done. Anthony Edwards drove 7 times.
Yeah.
You're one of the best finishers in the league. I can't have you settling for threes and then only threes when you decide that you're going to take one. So, yeah, I mean, the vast majority of the pressure on doing something tonight, one way or the other, is certainly on Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, it got to be a lot of pressure. He can't go down 0-2. Because I feel like the Thunder are going to steal one in Minnesota. Yep. It's a really good team. They play well, and they fight. You know, it's hard to find a team that everybody's okay with their roles. They play great defense no matter who's scoring. And they got the will to win. That's why they've been good this whole season. But I want to say this something about Anthony Edwards. As much as you want to call him out, he always answers that call, though. Maybe he doesn't when you guys want to, right? But he does answer that call. And I think tonight he just said it, hey, look, I got to be better. And there's times when he's been called off from coaches or players or himself, and he comes to answer. And we're going to see a big start tonight. And we're going to see, I don't know who's going to be the MVP tonight,
We have to.
Because SGA might have a reward, but the real MVP comes in this series. And I think Ant-Man, the one I know, is the one that started the game out locking up Jay Will. The one that did start scoring eventually. Now, it stopped early. It stopped early. But I think Ant-Man going to bring it home.
I mean, how long, though, Shady, until you got to see more? Because there comes a point, I don't care either way. I'm not beholden to Ant-Man. I'm not against Ant-Man. I'm genuinely just coming into games where Ant-Man's playing saying, let's see what you're going to do. Because I'm going to sit next to Shady and he's going to be bragging about you. And time after time after time this playoffs, I've said, let's see what you're going to do. And he don't do nothing. I came into this NBA playoffs neutral, right? I'm not biased to anybody because LeBron exited early, Steph got hurt, so the players that I love, they was gone. So I'm like, okay, Tyrese, let's see what you're gonna do. Tyrese Halliburton has made a gigantic fan of Emmanuel Acho. He don't care, it don't matter, he got all the fans. I'm like, yo, Tyrese, you won them ones. Ant-Man, let's see what you're gonna do. That's it? Yep. Wait, that's what all this hype is about?
He's got to be more consistent doing what he does. Because he has put up 35, he has put up 40.
We put up 40, we put up once.
I know, but I'm just saying, just more consistent. I mean, it ain't just people going out there just putting up 40.
No, you know but at the point in which Brunson, Hallie, and Shea all did it in game one.
A whole lot more consistent, though, too.
Yes.
They did it game one, and they've been going
Yes,
down.
he has to do it.
It's also understanding when you have to win and how you have to win. I don't care if he gets 40. Like, he's capable of getting 40. I want to see what Halliburton did last night, which was seizing the moment and saying, you know what, if we can get this game won, we're putting them on their back foot. And, you know, I don't need to score, but I'm going to orchestrate this win.
Crazy enough, the same that Brunson did last night. It went the other way.
Yes.
But remember,
absolutely.
at the end of the game, Brunson said, give me the ball. He had 7 consecutive points, if I'm not mistaken. And Brunson was like, give me the ball, I'll handle it.
Exactly.
So, like, we saw from Halliburton. Same thing Shea did against the T-Wolves game 1. They're down by 4, 48-44 at half. Shea only had 11 points going into halftime. He finished the game with, I believe it was 31 points because he said, you know what? I need to do more and not have to do it.
Right.
Every star has done it except for Ant.
Yeah, but
it's killing me.
I get you, but one thing that James did talk about, and I get it, because Ant-Man can go out there and get 50 points and they still lose. Does it matter? 40 points and you lose, and 10 points y'all win. That matters to me. But we need Dante and Reeves not to have 4 for 25.
Sure.
That can't happen because
you're not going to win.
Y'all not role players like the Pacers. Y'all not. Y'all not role players like the Thunder. Respectfully, y'all not. Y'all can really, really get to it. We seen Dante get to it for sure. With the Knicks, with Golden State, we seen him do that. We seen it with the Timberwolves. And we seen Reeves. I mean, he's been 6 man of the year.
Yeah.
So y'all can really go out there and do it. So I need y'all to have. You can't go 4 for 25 though. That cannot happen.
I don't want to hear that right now. I don't want to hear that right now because the reason I don't want to hear it, not because y'all aren't right, but because let's get to that later. Let's start with the head of the household. Let's start with the head of the household, which is Ant-Man. Y'all heard the saying, God helps those who help themselves. Hey, backups help stars that help themselves. Y'all are right. Shady is right. James is right. Before I talk about Dante DiVincenzo and Naz Reid, hey, Ant-Man, do everything in your power to win. Remember, Giannis is Bucks. Giannis had 38, 11, and 12 and still lost. Fine, now I'll talk about Kyle Porter.
Right.
Now I'll talk about Bobby Portis. But, Ant, if you have an 18, Shady's right and James is right. I'm not talking to these backups, these bums and backups like Shady likes to call them, until the superstar starts being a superstar.
But see, that's the real point because they're not just regular backups. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
They're not regular backups. That's what I'm saying. So, like y'all matter. In the game plan, there's sometimes, okay, role players, y'all do your part. But for the Timberwolves, they got a big part of that. And like, even if Ant-Man goes out there and gets 30 points, you're going to be happy about that, but the world's not going to be happy about that because y'all lost.
I mean, we love OKC because of Jay Will and all that. And that's why we say if Jay Will continues to ball at a consistent level, they're going to be hard to stop. You need them other dudes to ball.
Got to.
You do. As good as Shea is.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.